The key outcome of the recent summit was a major international agreement, the Pact for the Future, also known as the UN Reform Plan. According to the organization, the document is aimed at ensuring that international institutions can operate effectively in a world that has changed drastically since their inception. One of the most discussed aspects of the pact is its progressive and concrete commitment to reforming the UN Security Council, the most significant efforts of its kind since the 1960s. However, some experts remain skeptical of the reform plans. As with many other UN documents, the pact sets out ambitious goals, but lacks clear steps for how to achieve them. More details in the following report. We can't build a future for our grandchildren using a system built for our grandparents. With this statement, UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres urged world leaders to recognize the need for reform within the UN. He highlighted the growing global challenges, escalating conflicts, widening inequality, the climate crisis threatening economies, and the uncontrolled rise of AI, issues for which he believes the international community currently has no effective solutions.
Conflicts are raging and multiplying, from the Middle East to Ukraine and Sudan with no end in sight. Our collective security system is threatened by geopolitical divides, nuclear posturing, and the development of new weapons and theaters of war.
And while there may be no solutions today, the UN's Pact for the Future aims to tackle these challenges tomorrow. The UN describes the pact as the most ambitious international agreement in years. It outlines 56 key actions, ranging from sustainable development and conflict resolution to human rights protection and more, that countries have committed to achieving. Perhaps the most crucial element of the pact is the commitment to the reform of the UN Security Council. This includes expanding the Council and reconsidering the veto power to prevent important decisions from being blocked. Currently, only 5 countries, the UK, China, Russia, the US and France, hold veto power. The decision was supported by 143 UN member states, who argue that leaving the fate of international security in the hands of a small, privileged group is an outdated and flawed practice.
We cannot hide our dismay at the fact that the ambition for UN system reform, especially of the Security Council, has been diluted despite its evident ineffectiveness in recent years. Thus, it remains pending to adjust this mechanism to the geopolitical reality that includes the global south and eliminates the veto once and for all.
As is often the case with UN resolutions, the Pact for the Future, while full of ambitious goals and commitments, has a major drawback according to experts who have reviewed the document. It lacks clear, realistic steps and enforcement mechanisms for its implementation. For instance, the document claims that nations will end hunger and eliminate food insecurity, but it offers no specifics on how the UN or its members plan to achieve this.
This document is not about obligatory actions. For example, I am a country who don't want to solve a problem about gender inequality. If I will not follow this document, what international community do with me? Answer: nothing.
The non-obligatory nature of the document is the biggest obstacle to implementing these critically important measures, according to political scientist Tahir Nigmanov. As a result, a genuine revision of the UN Security Council is unlikely in the current geopolitical climate. Any changes to Security Council membership require amending the UN Charter, which needs approval from 2/3 of the General Assembly, including all 5 veto powers on the Council.
If we enlarge number of permanent members of the Security Council, will they have enough equal right to veto? And another problem is about our international system. I think it is very sad. For example, we can remember several cases when big countries with nuclear weapon can do what they want to do without Security Council.
Nevertheless, new agreements are the first step in the right direction. The adoption of the Pact for the Future by 143 countries shows that the international community recognizes the need for change and is ready to discuss global solutions, Tahir Nigmanov added. Whether these ambitious goals will translate into meaningful action remains to be seen, but the call for reform has made loud and clear. That's why UN Secretary-General Guterres closed his speech with that may be the most important words. Now let's get to work. Daurian Isagulov, New Time.